Good evening. Coming up tonight.
Gamecock Recovery is hosting a week of support for collegiate recovery.
And the Gamecock women's basketball team is headed to the Sweet 16. Plus, an exclusive interview with Cock Hockey.
Later, hear all about how you can celebrate springtime at Carowinds.
All that and more tonight on Student News at 7.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio.
This is Student News at 7.
Good evening, Carolina. I'm Bridget Bruchalski.
And I'm Erin Smith. Thanks for joining us tonight. Gamecock Recovery is hosting a week of showing support for collegiate recovery. As part of their efforts, Davis Field is full of flags and posters sharing individuals' experiences in recovery while being a college student. Gamecock Recovery shares that they have 1,800 members of our student body that self-declare they are in recovery. Gamecock Recovery's goal is to embrace all pathways to recovery and provide support to recovering students to help them achieve academic and personal success. The week is leading up to an event at the State House on April 2nd to celebrate Collegiate Recovery Day. I think showing displays like this right in the center of our campus can really be helpful for students who might think that it's not possible to be in recovery while as a college student.
Yeah, and I think events like this, they show students who may be struggling that they're not alone and that they can find others that they can confide in and share their stories and, find that community and that support.
Yeah, and ultimately get the help they might need.
Yeah, for sure.
Recently, the state has been shaken up. Yesterday morning, the Midlands area experienced a 2.2 magnitude earthquake. While the strength of the quake was low, this is something that has been happening more frequently. There was also a 2.1 magnitude quake on Sunday in Kershaw County. This year alone, there have been 7 confirmed earthquakes in South Carolina, 5 of them happening in March, with 3 in the past 10 days, all around the same area. Historically, earthquakes here in South Carolina are rare, especially outside of the Midlands area. While these earthquakes are considered microquakes, they shouldn't cause any panic. Scientists aren't sure why we are experiencing so many.
USC students are embracing their hobbies by turning them into small businesses. SGTV's Grace Berkery has the story.
What do you do in your free time when you're not focusing on your studies? For Michaela Upright and Rachel Lanning, it's all about bracelets.
I'm probably going to make, so it's kind of one of these where there's no pattern.
Rachel had been wanting to start a hobby for a while, but it wasn't until she went to a yarn store with a friend that she decided to buy some beads and begin.
While we were there, I was like, man, I really wish I had a hobby. And I was like, you know what I could do? Make bracelets. I think that'd be fun. And I remember I got like clearance beads at Joann's, and then that's all of the like multicolor ones are from that bead set. I remember them still getting that.
Michaela, on the other hand, learned bracelet making by watching YouTube videos. It was when her collection grew so large that she decided to take her hobby a step further.
From the beginning, I always kept it in the back of my head, but then when I started to have like an actual inventory, I was like, okay, cool. There's a lot of craft shows. I think I might want to be a small business owner one day.
Combining their passion for bracelet making and creativity, Michaela and Rachel began to sell their creations to fellow students through a club called Student Made. From there, their businesses quickly grew from participating in pop-up shops to now selling at large events like Soda City.
It has been so amazing to actually interact with a community that's not just other students. We're talking to parents, we're talking to grandparents, we're talking to couples who are going on their first date.
Running a small business while juggling the demands of student life can be a lot, but both Rachel and Michaela are committed to their craft and their degree.
It's a lot of self-discipline, and it's kind of, the struggles have been like trying to keep my priorities straight. Like, yes, I have to get my PhD, and that's my number one priority still.
From hitting the books to selling the trends, Rachel and Michaela hope to show you can be successful at both. For SGTV News, I'm Grace Berkery.
Thanks, Grace. I think it's so awesome that students can, turn their hobbies and passions into a little project that they can make some extra spending money.
Yeah, I had a friend my freshman year and he had his own little business, and I always enjoyed seeing how it was progressing throughout the semesters.
No way, what did he do?
He would go thrifting and then resell the clothes and stuff, but he found so many cool vintage Gamecock stuff, and honestly, he had so many sales.
I might have to take that up.
Yeah.
Early Tuesday morning, a container ship struck a support beam of Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge, sending the whole bridge crumbling into the water. The Baltimore port is a crucial port for U.S. trade. With the port closed due to the accident, many ships are being required to use other ports, such as Charleston. The Charleston port can expect an increase in ships coming in and out of the port, which can cause an increase in traffic. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster spoke on the issue. He asked South Carolinians to have patience and understand that the issues are stemming from the tragedy in Maryland. In addition, the director of South Carolina's Emergency Management Division reached out to Maryland's Emergency Management Department to offer support. Maryland has not yet sought help from other states. Coming up after the break, SGTV reporters Karenna Porter and Violet Raftery will give us the latest in sports. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Karenna Porter.
And I'm Violet Raftery, here to give you the latest in sports.
Tomorrow, the Gamecocks will face off against number 4 seed Indiana in the Sweet 16. They advanced this past Sunday when South Carolina took down UNC 88-41. The 47-point win brings the number 1 ranked Gamecocks to the Sweet 16 for the 10th season in a row. North Carolina was held to its fewest points in its 81-game NCAA tournament history. Indiana claimed their Sweet 16 spot after their 75-68 win over Oklahoma on Monday. The Hoosiers are averaging 79.6 points per game and have 26 wins and 5 losses in the 2023-2024 season. The game will be held in Albany, New York at 5 p.m. I gotta say, the Gamecock offense is really looking unstoppable. That huge win over UNC was not a big surprise, but it's insane.
And I'm sure they still have like the next game ahead of them on their mind, but I think fans are probably looking forward, maybe to the Final Four, the championship at this point, coming off this still undefeated season. Now, it is no secret that Dawn Staley always has quite an impressive recruiting class. However, one Gamecock signee is making headlines all across the state this evening. Joyce Edwards, a senior at Camden High School, has been announced as the 2023-2024 Gatorade National Girls Basketball Player of the Year. The award is the most recent of Edwards' lengthy list of successes, alongside claiming the Max Preps All Sports National Player of the Year and a gold medal in the FIBA U19 World Cup last summer. Edwards averaged 31.3 points, 13.3 rebounds, and 4 assists her senior year, while leading her team all the way to the state championship.
However, it was not just her basketball numbers that helped her beat nearly 500,000 other student athletes for the award. It was also her performance off the court. Not only is she a phenomenal basketball player, she is also all-state in volleyball and soccer, with 26 goals in 10 games on the pitch and 215 kills in 31 games on the court. Through all this, she boasts a 5.08 GPA and will be a part of the University of South Carolina Honors College. Edwards has now positioned herself alongside former winners and women's basketball college greats, including Paige Beckers, Juju Watkins, and Caitlin Clark. Gamecock fans should be excited to see her contributions to the South Carolina women's basketball team this season.
And Gamecock baseball head coach Mark Kingston is celebrating a milestone, and his team is coming off quite the win. South Carolina beat Presbyterian College 19-14 for Kingston's 200th career victory at South Carolina. Tuesday night, the offense was alive from the beginning. Bottom of the first, the Gamecocks hit 3 homers and an RBI double to drive in 7 runs. Presbyterian transfer Dalton Reeves put on a show for his first start in the Garnet and Black. Reeves hit a 3-run homer in the first and another 3-run homer in the fourth. And Reeves wasn't the only one to hit 2 out of the park. Ethan Petrie put a pair over the wall for 5 RBIs on the night. Parker Noland and Kennedy Jones also hit home runs. Tyler Causey, Talmadge LeCroy, and Blake Jackson batted in the remaining 4 runners. So with all that offense, fans were likely expecting a run rule finish, but the Blue Hose were hot at the plate as well. A single, 3 walks, hit by pitch, and double plated 5 runners to keep the Blue Hose alive in the 7th. But but Presbyterian couldn't cut into the deficit enough to manage a tie or take the lead. South Carolina sent a total of 9 pitchers to the mound to calm down the potential upset. The Gamecocks celebrated a 6th consecutive win with a final score of 19-14. And this isn't the first time we've talked about an exciting season for Gamecock Club hockey, but tonight we've got a different perspective. I sat down with President Bobby DeCicco and player Tommy Marvin to talk all about the Cocks. Of course, we had to start with their recent AAU College Hockey Division I National Championship.
Going in, not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous because before that we had struggled in our last 2 tournaments. So we had a team meeting before where we kind of just reset. We're like, all right guys, we have a few more games left. Everyone come together, let's try to do something here. Because before this year, our coach was saying that we haven't really won much before. Like we have a lot of fans, a lot of social media, like big social media presence, but we didn't won a big tournament. So like this was kind of our year to like turn that around.
We went 3-0 in the first round against all 3 of the first teams, which was Fairfield, Niagara, and Fordham. So we beat all 3 of those teams. 2 of them were in overtime.
And one of the teams was Niagara, and they were number 2 in the country. And so we knew that was the game we had to win. So we won our first 2 games. They won their first 2 games. And then whoever won that game between us and Niagara was going to move on to the semifinals. And so in that game we went to overtime. It was 2-2, I want to say. And then I was fortunate enough to score that goal to kind of move us on, which was honestly so fun. It was probably my favorite part of the year.
Then we moved on to play Tampa, who to us was our kryptonite. I think that they're one of the best teams in the country for sure. Once we beat them, I think we knew like whoever we were going to play in the finals was going to be we were going to beat them.
And so when we played them, we were all like, all right, if we win this game, we'll win the tournament. And we got down 3-1. And for the first time, probably all year, no one was arguing. Everyone was still together. And at that point, I was like, okay, we're going to win this game. So we scored again, just made it 3-2, tied it up, and then we ended up winning. And so then in the finals, we all knew that if we beat Tampa, we were winning the finals easy. So we played Buffalo. They scored first. No one was really scared. We came back, tied it up, and then we ended up beating them 4-1.
Crazy. I mean, like, everybody was just jumping for joy. Like, the traditional, like, everybody's going crazy, you know, holding up the trophy and, you know, partying in the locker room and everything. It was just cool to, you know, a couple months ago we were in shambles as a team and we all came together and won some games in a very crucial point in the season, and it paid off, and it was really cool to see everybody's smiles on their faces and hugging each other.
And the conversation didn't end there. We also talked about the future of the team and the sport at USC, starting with a second COG hockey team coming to Columbia.
Ronan McCarron, who's the president taking after me, he was the one that sort of started that. I had relayed on to him the message that like there's a bunch of people interested in playing hockey here, but we only have one team, and like there's a lot of skill, and I think it'd be beneficial if you created another team, and he went off and did that. And
are you kind of excited for the future of this team? Because you've got a few more years here. Where do you see it going?
I'm super excited. I mean, we have 3 more years, and our whole thing is like we want to go back to back now. Like 1 is great, obviously, but going back to back would be awesome. And I think each year the talent coming in will be more or better every year, because I know there's a few kids transferring from Division III schools coming here just to play club hockey. Obviously, grade school as well, but the club hockey is really fun. It's the fun part of it. And so I know kids are looking to come here to play club hockey. And so I think year by year our talent will get better and better. And hopefully by my 4th year, we're the best team in the country by far.
Now, along with the recent athletic success, DeCicco and Marvin both had a lot to say about the community behind the team as well. So you sat in on this interview, and you know it went a lot longer than the portions we were able to put into this show. I focused on the championship and the future, but we had to cut out a lot of them just talking about how they liken this team to a family and just the brotherhood they had to talk about. I think was also very important to mention.
Yeah, it seems like a great community, and it seems to be a great place for freshmen to find kind of a home in the school. Former Gamecock football player and Rock Hill native Jadavion Clowney agreed to terms with the Carolina Panthers yesterday. Clowney said, quote, "We're going to be just 30 minutes from home. It's where we do all our community and foundation work going into season 11. Plus, my granddaddy is getting older, and last year we had a lot of losses in our family. So honestly, it just feels like a full circle moment being closer," end quote. The linebacker had one of his best seasons last year with the Baltimore Ravens, recording 9.5 sacks. Clowney was the #1 overall draft pick in the 2014 draft. Clowney spent his first 5 seasons with the Texans and since has spent a season with the Seahawks, the Titans, the Browns, and the Ravens. Clowney's wife Naja said, quote, "He spoke with the Ravens. He also liked his visit with the Jets. Both places were fits, but the Panthers pursued the hardest. This is a special day for us," end quote. Coming up after the break, SGTV entertainment reporters Ali Popielarczyk and Emma Wyatt will lay down the talk of the town. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, Carolina. I'm Emma Wyatt.
And I'm Ali Popielarczyk, here to give you the latest in this week's entertainment. It's time to spring into action at Carowinds. For all of the thrill seekers, Carolina's own amusement park will be open from March 30th to April 7th with even more festivities than normal. This spring break event gives parkgoers the opportunity to get a taste of the Easter atmosphere, Carolina style. Guests can spend the week exploring 14 family-friendly attractions, tons of roller coasters, and Camp Snoopy. This weekend only, the Easter Bunny will be in attendance at Harmony Hall for meet and greets. Additionally, everyone's favorite Easter Beagle, Snoopy, will be there for all of the excellent people who want to meet him. If you need a break between rides to eat a hot dog or watch some cool dogs, make sure to stop by the Marvelous Mutt Show. This performance features athletic canines with crazy cool skills like frisbee tricks and dock diving. It's such a treat to be able to see so many talented rescue dogs put their passion to the test in a spectacular that is sure to dazzle even the cat lovers. Unfortunately, the water park portion of Carowinds, the Carolina Harbor, will not be available for this event. The harbor splashes back into action on May 25th for the rest of the season. For more information on ticketing and the Marvelous Mutt show times, you can visit thecarowinds.com or the Carowinds app for answers to all of your twists and turns.
Lights, camera, action. Calling all you real cinema lovers out there, it's time to roll out the red carpet for a night of a classic movie magic as you are transported back in time into the captivating world of classic cinema. Mark your calendars for Tuesday, April 2nd from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. as the Nick and the Columbia Museum of Art invite you to embark on a cinematic journey unlike any other. Prepare to be immersed in the era of the 1940s with a 2-part series exploring themes from the CMA exhibition Interior Lives, Modern American Spaces, 1890 to 1945. In the first installment of the series, you will be delving into the iconic masterpiece Citizen Kane, directed by the legendary Orson Welles. This timeless classic is long hailed as one of the greatest American films ever made and unravels the enigmatic tale of Charles Foster Kane's life and untimely demise. Through a series of interviews and flashbacks spanning from the late 1800s to the early 1900s, audiences are taken on a gripping journey into the heart and soul of Kane's complex character. And let's not forget about the groundbreaking cinematography that revolutionized the film industry. Following the screening, stick around for an insightful talkback session featuring CMA Senior Curator Michael Neumeister, the creative mind behind the Interior Lives exhibition, and Laura Major, Collections Manager at USC's Moving Image Research Collections. This is your chance to gain a deeper understanding of the film's themes and its significance within the context of American cinema. Tickets are priced at $15 or $12 for Nick and CMA members. Be sure not to miss out on this cinematic experience.
Lexington School District 2's newest addition is ready to take center stage after its decade-long completion. The new 103,000 square foot theater will now be the home to not only artistic events for the school, but for the community as well. The Lexington 2 Performing Arts Center is equipped with opportunities for all, ranging from acting on the stage, to lighting booth controls, to production management. This new outlet gives everyone easier access to the arts, aiding in increasing skills that makes kids especially more well-rounded individuals. The process of creating this 1,500-seat auditorium required lots of determination. The $52 million idea was approved back in 2014 by voters as a part of a $225 million referendum, and then 10 years later, the dream has become a reality.
It also has some exclusive features such as a catering kitchen, overhead catwalks, 4 dressing rooms, and a full pit for an orchestra. With impressive lighting and backstage rigging systems, it provides students with numerous learning moments and how they can shine both on stage and behind the scenes. The grand opening for this location, which will be called L2PAC for short, will be on May 1st. You can visit lex2.org with any additional questions.
Next Thursday, April 4th from 8 to 11 p.m., Blatt Field will be transformed into a battlefield for an epic game of laser tag. It's the perfect opportunity to unwind, bond with friends, and let loose with the end of the semester approaching. To ensure everyone gets a chance to participate, you'll need to reserve a time slot in advance. Head over to Garnet Gate to secure your spot and choose the time that works best for you. With limited spaces available, early registration is highly recommended. Once you've secured your time slot, it's time to gear up and prepare for action. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or a first-time player, Thursday After Dark Laser Tag promises an adrenaline-fueled experience like no other. And for those of you who prefer to watch the action unfold, Blatt Field will be open to spectators. So come out and show your support for your fellow classmates as they battle it out for the laser tag supremacy. So get ready to close out the semester with a bang at Thursday After Dark, and be sure to grab your friends, mark your calendars, and get ready to make some unforgettable memories. Be on the lookout for more fun-filled events at the end as the semester comes to an end over at Gamecock Entertainment. Well, Allie, I think it's so amazing how our campus and university always has these amazing events for students to be able to partake in, especially towards the end of semester when exams are cramming and you just want a moment to relax and just have fun.
Exactly. Little opportunities like this where you don't know you're relieving stress, but you definitely are super important for students, especially because finals are getting really close, even though we don't want to think about that.
Exactly.
But I'll be sure to check that out. I'll probably need it by then.
Yeah, I haven't even played laser tag yet, so I think it'd be a great opportunity to go with some friends and even meet new people.
That's all our entertainment news for tonight. After the break, Erin and Bridget will return to finish up tonight's news. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Student News at 7. Thanks for staying with us.
Next year, USC plans to launch 2 new academic programs focusing on athlete counseling and environmental law. The Board of Trustees approved the programs in February with pending approval from the SC Commission on Higher Education. As of now, the Sports Psychology and Counseling program is set to start in fall 2025 and aims to provide mental health support for athletes. It's designed to help future coaches or mental performance coaches to prioritize the mental well-being of their players. The Environmental Law and Sustainability Certificate program will begin in spring 2025. This certificate is tailored to individuals with a bachelor's degree seeking further study in environmental law. And in other news, a research team at the Carolina Autism and Neurodevelopment Research Center in the Institute for the Mind and Brain on campus is using artificial intelligence to study autism and ways to diagnose it earlier. Professor Jessica Bradshaw is leading the team in exploring how brain waves and heart rate may indicate autism in babies. Currently, autism is usually diagnosed after the age of 2 when behavioral signs are more noticeable, but the team's goal is to find ways to diagnose it sooner. The team is using AI to analyze data collected from observing autistic children to help understand complex relationships. And now, autism isn't a one-size-fits-all diagnosis. There are many different ways autism may present in individuals, which presents some challenges for the researchers. Despite the challenges, the team continues to make advancements to better understand autism and how to diagnose individuals sooner.
In Columbia, people often think of parking as a bit of a headache, but this month, the local American Heart Association is partnering with Columbia's Parking Services to bring a new message to parking meters. The second annual Heart Health Awareness Initiative hopes to engage community sponsors through parking meters. Columbia's Parking Services has 15 community sponsors that will decorate a parking meter throughout the city. Each sponsorship paid a $500 donation that goes directly to the American Heart Association. Last year, some of the sponsors include the Marriott and Hall's Chop House. This year's decorated parking meters will be collecting change for the American Heart Association starting next week throughout the entire month of April. You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing how these businesses are decorating it, and this is like paying for parking that I won't really complain about.
Oh, absolutely. Usually parking is a nightmare for me on campus, but seeing the decorated meters will make me appreciate, that a little bit more. Well, that wraps up tonight's edition of Student News at 7.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at SGTV at USC.
And to keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtv@usc.com. For SGTV, I'm Bridget Bruchalski.
And I'm Erin Smith. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great night, Carolina. Forever to thee.